This is Markin Out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Follow on Twitter. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Marking Out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Brennan likes fisting. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. We're marking out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans.
Welcome to Markin Out, Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. This is episode 761. Thanks for listening. Make sure that you subscribe and download wherever you are getting your podcast needs. Give us a 5-star rating to go with that 5-star frog splash. That's right, we are the only Markin Out podcast. So make sure you subscribe. Buy a t-shirt over at ProWrestlingTees.com/MarkinOut. Go give us a like over on Facebook. Give us a subscribe over on YouTube. Give us a follow over on Instagram at MarkinOut11, TikTok at MarkinOut, and on Twitter or X at MarkinOut. You can follow me, Dave, the Rave, on all social media platforms at David PTDPT. You can follow Chris at CMSweeney85 on Instagram and Chris Sweendog over on Twitter or X. And you can follow Brandon on all social media platforms at BTTG161. That being said, Brandon, how are you?
I'm doing awesome as always. How about yourself?
Doing fantastic. I question how this week even flew by.
Yeah, and I realized after last week when you said, I don't remember what I even did this week, I remembered you went to a warehouse in Brooklyn.
Yes, that is true. That is true. I did go to a warehouse in Brooklyn. I survived the warehouse. It was actually a block party. In Brooklyn. It was outside of my friend's mural company's factory, and it was really cool. They blocked off the street. They had skateboarding there. They had a dunk tank. They had a hammer slam. They had a bunch of food vendors. They were giving out free spare ribs. They had like a really good rib place that was giving out free ribs up until like 7 p.m. or something. And then after that, it was pay per order. That was delicious. And then I actually had onigiri, which I didn't get to have in Japan. And I was going to get a burger, but I saw the onigiri and I'm like, you know what? I really want to try this to see how it tastes. And given I should have had it in Japan, but it gives me a reason to go back to Japan because I also had to go to the Tokyo Dome, right? So, gotta get there. Brandon knows I have to go back.
Yeah, there's a long list of stuff that you didn't check off on that.
Right? So, I had some onigiri, and what it is fish wrapped with fish in the middle of a triangular bed of rice wrapped in seaweed. And the fish that I had was like salmon, and it was really good. It was so good that I bought another one. And I ate 2 of those, and then I also got another delicious bite to eat. I forgot what it's called, but it was rice, and on the bottom bed of the rice was actually sliced Spam that was cooked. And then that was all wrapped in seaweed. And it was really good. And then after the block party ended, the warehouse became kind of like a dance party thing. And that was enjoyable. Me and my friend Tanya and Tanya's friends, we always enjoy just hanging out and stuff like that. Tanya I work with Final Frontier at. And it was a lot of fun. So that's actually what I did last weekend. This weekend, I'll probably remember next week's episode.
I remember it. I don't remember doing anything this week, though.
Actually, no, now I remember. I met up with my family and we went to go see Fantastic Four. So I went to go see Fantastic Four. I thought it was really good.
I'll give that review in like 4 months or so.
Yeah, I thought that was actually really good. I went into it, I don't think with big expectations. I understand the level that they're at with Marvel right now. Like, they have to build up something. And so I understand that this is one of the building blocks. I had fun in it. I thought it was really done well. I thought that the characters from the comics were done really well. I think the adaptations or the changes that they've had didn't impact the story or anything like that, and it was fun. So check it out.
I mean, I will when it comes to Disney Plus.
Yeah, I know, but yeah. So that was our weekend.
Week, I made those Rice Krispie treats again, the brown butter ones.
Oh yeah, how was it?
The marshmallows didn't melt the same when I added them in to mix in. Like, I guess it cooled faster than it should have. So it's a lot more marshmallowy, but it's still like, it's top tier, man. I could never, I mean, I can't say I can never have a regular Rice Krispie treat again, but it totally beats, no offense, one of those Kellogg's Rice Krispie treats.
I'm so offended.
I mean, if Kellogg's is listening.
True. I would say, and if you are listening, Kellogg's, hit us up for a sponsorship, because the opinion could really change.
They are the flag bearer for Rice Krispie treats. So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, there was some pro wrestling from Paris. So we could talk about Clash in Paris right now, which I think it was really cool to have another unique stage. We had a unique one for SummerSlam. This one had the Eiffel Tower. It lit up, and I thought that was really cool. The crowd was just burning hot the whole night, which was expected.
I mean,
on SmackDown, I was expecting a lot more from them on SmackDown. This just completely, that set the expectation.
I agree, and I'm really happy that they came out in full support, because I feel like their ability to get so loud and involved with pro wrestling is the reason why WWE is now going back there as often as they are, especially for PLEs. And I fingers crossed that they announce at some point that international crowd getting to WrestleMania, because let's face it, they deserve it. And then it doesn't, I don't think it's going to take anything away from it not being done in the US, because there's something about that crowd that makes you as a viewer feel more alive and more involved within the event itself. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think they would do WrestleMania in Paris just because it's 40,000 max.
Yes, but maybe the UK.
I mean, that's possible.
You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be Paris, but it could definitely be somewhere around there.
First match saw Roman Reigns pick up the victory over Bronson Reed. Roman Reigns came out to the ring wearing 2 Ulafalas, which they said he wouldn't normally have 2 Ulafalas, but he wanted to pay respect to both Afa and Sika, so I thought that was pretty cool. But
I saw so much like speculation as to like why.
Yeah, so
that makes sense.
It was that, but this crowd, man, this not to say this match was like bad or anything, because I really enjoyed this match. This crowd made this match so much better than it was. Like, I know that sounds weird, because I thought the match was enjoyable, but this crowd, like I said, was on fire this whole night.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
At one point, Bronson Reed tried to take Roman's shoes, and Roman fought out of it. I think my favorite spot of this was Bronson Reed catching Roman's first spear and hitting a powerbomb. But
that was such a cool spot too.
And then Roman eventually did hit the spear and got the victory. The aftermath, though. The aftermath was like an hour long. But
I know, it just like was never ending.
Roman Reigns, he went face to face with Paul Heyman afterwards, and Paul was obviously like doing everything he could to get on Roman's good side. He acknowledged Roman Reigns as the tribal chief, and then Roman choked him out. He took the Shulafala, he signed all 4 of the shoes and tossed them into the crowd. That's really cool. But then Braun Breaker...
that's going to be on eBay soon.
I don't know. I don't know if I would put that... If I went to that event and I caught a shoe, I don't think I would... I wouldn't want to sell that.
I could see somebody putting it up. You don't think?
I don't know. But Braun Breaker showed up and speared Roman Reigns through the table after he was done tossing. I think he only tossed 2 of the shoes, actually. But he ends up hitting a spear again when Roman Reigns was being helped back up. And Bronson Reed then sent Roman Reigns into the ring, hit the tsunami. They strapped Roman Reigns to a stretcher, and Bronson Reed ran down again, hit another tsunami. Jey Uso finally ran down. He gets shut down. He's in the main event. He gets shut down. Bronson Reed hits another tsunami. Adam Pearce kicked both of them out of the arena. So that sets up what's going to happen in the main event. Will Jey Uso make it to the main event? Who will help Seth Rollins win this match? Because we think that's how it's going to end.
Yeah, very wild. Makes you start thinking. But next up, you had the Wyatt 6 pick up the victory. 666 pick up the victory over the Street Profits to retain the championship.
Also,
it was a
just
good
to jump
match.
back. Just to jump back to that segment, even though it was like an hour long of a segment, that crowd was just into it the whole time.
Yeah, that's true.
This match, before we even talk about it, I think one of the coolest moments of Clash in Paris was hearing that crowd sing the Wyatt theme song. I had goosebumps watching that. I had goosebumps watching it back. I thought that was awesome. I really thought that was cool. As far as the match goes, Street Profits at the start weren't really on the same page. There were moments where they were, but ultimately the Wyatts, they had control over the Street Profits. They all got involved. Uncle Howdy hit Montez Ford with the Sister Abigail before Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy got that victory, but Street Profits seems like it's headed for a split.
Yeah, and I was actually kind of hoping that they were going to pick up the victory, but on the other hand, would you have, like with everything with Universal Studios and, Universal with the, Hollywood Horror?
You were right with
the
you were
Wyatts.
Right with Universal Studios. You were wrong with Hollywood Horror.
Okay.
Halloween Horror Nights.
Like, Halloween Horror, you wouldn't. I mean, it's hard to see.
I think
not
there
winning.
were seeds already planted to split up the Street Profits, so I don't think it would make sense for the Wyatt Six to lose the championships just yet. And like you said, even
sense.
more so with Halloween Horror Nights, which I'll talk about later.
Yeah.
After that, Becky Lynch picked up the victory over Nikki Bella to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch was incredibly over here. Nikki Bella was the one getting booed. I was very surprised to hear that they were going for Becky Lynch over Nikki Bella.
Yeah, what made you, I guess, because of the comments that she made? No.
What comments?
Why did you think that Nikki was going to be so over?
Why did I think Nikki Bella would be cheered over the heel, Becky Lynch?
Yeah.
That answers it right there. Why would I not think the babyface Nikki Bella would be cheered over the heel Becky Lynch?
I don't know, because it's hard for me to see Nikki Bella having that much steam and support of the fans compared to somebody such as Becky Lynch.
I don't know. A lot of people talk so much trash about Nikki Bella. I think she was on fire in this match. I like the stuff that came out after this match from fans. It was just like, I can't even put into words how much it annoys me. And I say this from time to time too. Like the Bella twins, they constantly get overlooked and they constantly get put down as, oh, they didn't do anything for pro wrestling. They brought millions of viewers in. If you're going to be one of those people that are out there saying that the Bella Twins did absolutely nothing for pro wrestling, it's like slapping anyone who was inspired by the Bella Twins in the face, who are now pro wrestlers. It's like, it's so absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand. Like, it's because of the era where they came from. And people refuse to believe. They refuse to see what the Bellas did for the business.
I mean, I think that the Bella Twins have definitely earned their spot. Were they the best wrestlers? No. Did they improve? Yes.
Yeah.
I think that improvement cannot be denied. And with regards to this match, it was okay.
I think they had a lot of good back and forth.
Yeah, I didn't think that Nikki Bella was going to win, for sure.
No, I didn't think so either.
I didn't think Nikki was going to win.
I was impressed.
There were a few spots.
There was a long. I don't know the last time we saw her use the Fearless Lock, but a lot of people, for the first time, were thinking that they saw that, and they're like, "Wow, I wonder where she got that from." And it's like, yeah, she started using that when she was teaming with John Cena. It's a variation of the STFU. Like, yes, that's where she got it from, but it's a move that she's been using for. I mean, I don't know when the last time she used it, but it's a move that she debuted years ago. Mm-hmm. I like Nikki Bella hitting that manhandle slam. I thought that was a nice aspect of the match. Were there things in this match that were the
wonky?
The head smashes into the commentary table, of course, that could have looked better.
I'm going to heed my time on that.
But overall, I enjoyed this match. A lot of people said this match sucked. I did not think this match sucked. If a match sucks, I'll say a match sucks.
I don't think it sucked. It wasn't for me, though.
Becky Lynch ends up reversing a disarmer and then did that backslide pin to get that victory that she's been using.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next up, you had Rusev pick up the victory over Sheamus in a Donnybrook matchup. This matchup was just hard-hitting, and it was exactly what you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and it's exactly what you could have hoped from this match. Mm-hmm. That knee from Sheamus when Rusev went to swing that chair, I thought was very nice. Rusev put Sheamus through the bar and then locked the Accolade in. I thought that was a nice spot, but Sheamus got out of it and dropped him onto a pile of chairs. They fought on top of whiskey barrels, and Rusev locked it in on the top of the whiskey barrels, and then Sheamus, of course, gets up again. He hits the white, is it the white noise? Through the tables?
Yeah, the white noise.
I thought the bro kick was going to be it, but Rusev kicked out of that, and then he locked Sheamus in the Accolade again with the shillelagh in Sheamus's mouth. He pulled back on it. This match, I was very, very much so into this match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree. I think that it did its part, and the crowd loved it.
Are they even now, or what is the...
I hope so. I don't
remember what it was.
I hope they're even.
After that, we saw John Cena pick up the victory over Logan Paul. I like how they let the crowd build before John Cena's music hit. And then once John Cena's music hit, it looked like literally everybody in that arena was filming with their phone. That was one of the craziest sights I've ever seen in pro wrestling for 2025 at least. But they, again, if you could... I have to keep bringing up the crowd. They were going absolutely nuts, and it's like if you could picture a crowd going nuts, multiply that by 100, and that was for this match. And this was one of those matches where I really don't think it mattered what they did in the match. It was just them going absolutely insane the whole time.
Yeah, and they deserve totally the MVP of the night. I feel the fans. As a viewer,
I thought you were talking about Cena and Logan Paul, and I was like, yeah, I enjoyed this match too.
Well, that too, but I feel like if you start to lose attention of the entire match that was taking place, the fans, just kept you involved with it.
I popped big time.
Yeah,
John
Cena and
using
Logan.
the end of days.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah, Styles Clash.
Yeah, that was another hot moment. Logan Paul went for the
then
five-knuckle
the crowd,
shuffle. And John Cena
again
scooped him up with that.
Yeah, once again with the Styles Clash, the crowd going crazy.
Yeah.
Going for that phenomenal chant, which everybody loves.
The number one thing of this match that I can't believe we didn't get it, especially because this match reminded me a lot of those matches he had during the U.S. Open Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I really wish that we got from this match, he's doing a world tour of moves that he doesn't normally do. And paying tribute. He did the Angel's Wings at one point. Christopher Daniels finisher.
Yeah, he did the zigzag.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Logan Paul did the zigzag.
Logan Paul hits John Cena with that fist. And one of those big things in that build-up was you only have 5 moves. How the hell, when you have somebody like Logan Paul who uses that punch as a finisher, how does John Cena not use the lightning fist? I don't think we're going to ever see that move again. I really don't.
Oh, I forgot that he used to do that.
What do you mean? I bring this up every match so far. And this was like the match to do it in. With Logan Paul having that punch, how do you not pull out that lightning fist?
Very true, very true.
Logan Paul, though, he did actually hit the five-knuckle shuffle later on in the match and reversed an attitude adjustment. That's when the Styles Clash happened. I thought that was really cool. Mm-hmm. John Cena rolled through, though. He hits a third attitude adjustment and followed it up with another one, which Logan Paul reversed, and then his reversal was reversed, and John Cena won with a fourth attitude adjustment.
Yeah, I mean, that one from the top turnbuckle was awesome, the Avalanche one, and this match, but hey, Brandon, Logan Paul sucks, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, he sucks. He's not a pro wrestler, he sucks.
And then John Cena took an extended time getting out of there, and I think everyone was expecting somebody to come out, but that never happened. So
yeah, he's just taking it in.
His last time in Europe.
As active pro wrestler.
Main event saw Seth Rollins retain the championship, defeating LA Knight, CM Punk, and Jey Uso. Very, very chaotic. Jey Uso spoke to Adam Pearce beforehand. He's like, nah, absolutely not. I'm doing this match. They brawled in the crowd. Even when they were in the ring, though, it was really like nonstop chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Seth at one point teased hitting a pedigree to CM Punk off the apron through the table, which I think would have been dope. It didn't happen. But Seth Rollins got out. LA Knight pushed CM Punk off the apron through the table like he did to him the other week. CM Punk hit the GTS on Jey Uso, and then CM Punk hit the stomp on... Seth Rollins hit the stomp on CM Punk. Punk ends up kicking out of that, which I liked that stomp. That stomp spot was very nice. And CM Punk hit Jey Uso and LA Knight with the stomps on the outside. Seth Rollins did. And then he set CM Punk's head up on the chair to do the stomp. And CM Punk moved. He scooped him up for the GTS. He went for that second GTS. And somebody in a mask showed up, low-blowed CM Punk. There were people thinking Tony D'Angelo was showing up. People thought Ilya Dragunov was showing up.
Why?
There was the way that Tony D was kind of written off TV with somebody appearing in that dark shadow, and he's like, whoa, what are you doing here? You figure Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, all gone. Paul Heyman's gone. Who could possibly help Seth Rollins? It was Becky Lynch. And Seth Rollins hit the stomp and beat CM Punk.
Yeah.
So,
what did you think about them redoing that spot, that like Shawn Michaels, Triple H, whatever spot with the super kick?
I saw that clip. I don't think that was like, they're not a team, so it's not like it doesn't mean anything to me.
I thought that was such an awful kick too.
It's just a
I
side
thought that
kick.
was such
It's
an
not
off-
like a super kick or
Yeah.
anything. CM Punk's
Yeah.
not known for his super kicks.
No, he's not the Young Bucks.
He's known for his spinning back kicks and stuff and his side kicks. So it's not like it just whether or not it was supposed to be that, I have no idea. But it didn't even occur to me if it was supposed to be, because they're not DX. They're not close to a team. So,
Yeah.
But Monday Night Raw.
That's true.
Monday Night Raw kicked off in Paris as well. CM Punk waiting for Seth Rollins to arrive, and he said it's on site when he sees it. And I thought this show was going to open with the Vision, a big segment with which, by the way, Becky Lynch being cheered at the beginning of that match or throughout the match with Nikki Bella. The end of the night, she's getting booed. But I thought Monday Night Raw for sure would open with a bunch of heel boos for the Vision, with Seth Rollins, with Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, not Paul Heyman, and Becky Lynch. And I think it was kind of refreshing to not have that. You did have Jey Uso, and the fans wanted him to run the entrance back. And he goes, I'm not running this back, but what I am running back is everything that happened at Clash in Paris. And I thought that was a fantastic tie-in. And he called out the Vision. LA Knight showed up instead. And he said that the three of them could have taken Seth Rollins out and then fought it out amongst themselves. There could have been a brand new champion. But Jey Uso stopped it from happening. And it seemed like it was about to lead to a match between the two of them. You had Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed show up. And basically said, we're going to put you in the hospital next to Roman Reigns. And they challenged that. They challenged LA Knight and Jey Uso. It led to a tag match, which we'll put a pin in.
Next up, you had the Kabuki Warriors pick up the victory over Judgment Day. Asuka and Kairi Sane. It's always good to see them compete. And I was really surprised that they were able to pick up that victory over Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah, before this, Io apologized for what happened last week, and she asked the Kabuki Warriors if they need her help, and Asuka, kind of pissed off, said no, and she's like, unlike Rhea, we don't need help. So they're continuing that over there. We'll talk more in a second, but this I thought was a solid tag team match. It was pretty even between both teams. I kept waiting for the big moment where they would need Io to come out. And surprisingly, that never happened. And Asuka ends up, she hits I forget what she's calling that running hip attack. That was a weird moment because
trash.
What?
It's trash.
But it's not trash. It's just not, it's not a finisher.
It's just not good.
But she hit the move and then
yes, okay. I take it back. You're correct.
She pulled up and then she
finisher.
locked in the Asuka lock to get that victory. Later on, Adam Pearce announced that Stephanie Vaquer will be taking on Io Sky for the championship at WrestlePalooza. I know people were pissed off that it didn't happen at Clash in Paris on such short notice, but now they can build to an actual match, and they'll have a contract signing for that next week. And I feel like that's who we should have assumed would have been in the match regardless. I don't know why we were thinking anyone else, like you saying Jordan Grace. It just, the only two that would make sense are those two. I don't know why it needed to be a week later to announce that. He made it seem like it wouldn't be Io. So I don't know if that was necessarily needed.
I agree.
But then later on, Nikki Bella was talking to Io, and the Kabuki Warriors showed up. They pushed Nikki out, and then Asuka spoke about them being tag team champions, and said like, "Oh well, we can help you beat Stephanie." And she turned them down. She goes, "No!" Like she yelled at Io, and she's like, "You didn't win at SummerSlam. We will help you beat Stephanie Vaquer." Almost like there's no choice. It's like there's no option. It's not a yes or no. It's yes, this is happening. So Asuka is now pulling her seniority of sorts over Io. And then later on,
nice to see her doing that.
Rhea Ripley was interviewed, and the Kabuki Warriors interrupted Rhea. And and Rhea was talking about how she wanted a title shot if Io wins. And she told Rhea that she's not Io's friend. Stay away from Io. And Rhea was like, don't push me. And Asuka was like, I've been making history for years. I'll push whoever I want to push. So this new version of Asuka that we're getting is sort of like high school bully, but like elevated. I'm enjoying that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, same here.
After that, you had Finn Balor pick up the victory over Dragon Lee. I think it's nice to see Dragon Lee being used, especially like this, because we don't normally. Yeah. It's been a long time since we've seen Dragon Lee in a spot like this.
Mm-hmm.
But JD McDonough got involved. Dragon Lee took him down, but I think it was kind of obvious that Finn Balor would win this. And he took advantage of that spot with JD to get the victory there.
And the crowd loved it, though, once again.
Yeah. I don't know if it was JD McDonough to cause the victory for Finn Balor here or not, because Dragon Lee, after he knocked JD McDonough off the apron or whatever, he stomped a taunt at the top rope. And that gave Finn Balor more time to come back, so was it really JD to cause that, or was it Dragon Lee to cause that?
Very true.
And this is another match where, with like Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella, the fans were more behind Finn Balor here.
Yeah, I feel like the fans overseas really just cheer the nostalgia people.
Nostalgia?
Yeah.
Nikki Bella would be the nostalgia.
The people that have been around the people that have been around the longest.
I just proved you wrong. They booed Becky Lynch. I mean, they cheered Becky Lynch over Nikki Bella.
I mean, Finn Balor, AJ Styles, those people.
Because of that interference, though, Adam Pearce banned JD McDonough and Finn Balor from ringside for Dominic Mysterio's match. And then later on, I had fingers crossed, but it did not work out. Dominic Mysterio picked up the victory over AJ Styles to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Like you said before,
this was a fun match.
It was great to hear that crowd for AJ Styles. He's like the most over person in Paris.
And it's so nice to see him taking it in. Like, you could see him in that ring, and he looks so happy. Last time they did this, he was a heel.
Yeah.
So now this time, they're doing it, and he's a face, and he just seems so happy.
And they had his entrance and cut to commercial, so for that full commercial break, they were doing that.
Yeah.
That's wild. And they come back from commercial. During the introductions, Dominic Mysterio ends up attacking AJ Styles. But this match was very, very enjoyable. I like that kick out from AJ Styles after the frog splash, because for a second, I thought that match was over. We saw AJ Styles catch Dominic with that 619, and then he turned that into a Styles clash. Dominic ends up getting his foot on the rope. AJ Styles hit a brainbuster and went for that phenomenal forearm, and that's when El Grande Americano showed up, loaded up the mask, helped Dominic Mysterio there. AJ just randomly out when the referee turns back. Like, what goes through your mind when that, to me, makes the referee look dumb?
Mm-hmm.
The referee's looking. AJ Styles is setting up for the phenomenal forearm, and then the next thing the referee sees is AJ Styles down on the ground doing nothing. Out. That doesn't make sense to me. And then Dominic won with the frog splash. I really wish that we could have got... because of John Cena using that Styles clash, it makes me think that we're definitely not getting Cena versus AJ Styles, and that really sucks.
Yeah, that would be nice to throw back. I can't believe it's already been like 10 years or something since their entire feud.
And what really sucks is that it seems like Cena's not getting that Intercontinental Championship.
No.
Unless his last match or something is Dominic and he beats Dom or something. I don't know. And he retires as the Intercontinental Championship, and they do a tournament, the John Cena Intercontinental Open or something like that. I don't know. Have that at the, well, I don't know if you would do that at the Royal Rumble or not, but maybe if there's an event before the Royal Rumble, you could build that. I don't know. I really wish John Cena would have that Grand Slam championship.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we saw the War Raiders and Penta pick up the victory over New Day and Grayson Waller. Wade Barrett called them New Good Day, and I thought that was hilarious. But Penta, he's another one of those guys that were incredibly over with that crowd.
Yeah.
This had a lot of action, which unfortunately led to minimal control from the referee at times. The fallout from the War Raiders was rough, but it led to Penta stepping off of Ivar's back, hitting that Mexican Destroyer on Xavier Woods, getting that victory. I don't know where that goes next with Xavier Woods and New Day.
I think that they're limited with where to go next.
I don't know.
Yeah.
CM Punk was then informed by Adam Pearce that somehow Seth Rollins was in the building. So he went to the ring to call out Seth Rollins. The fans were chanting for AJ Lee. Before this segment, CM Punk was seen with Rhea Ripley. So you have Seth Rollins, you have Becky Lynch, you have CM Punk, who would be in that spot. Yet you would have to assume either Rhea Ripley or maybe AJ Lee. But CM Punk, in the ring, he said, this has absolutely nothing to do with Becky Lynch. And she said it has everything to do with her. She ends up yelling at him. She said that he doesn't fit the vision. And CM Punk said that the whole world chants his name. He listed all the cities that they worked on this overseas tour. And was like, what do they have in common? You and your husband weren't there. I was there. To counter, how am I not the vision, basically? He shows up. And then Seth eventually came out, challenged CM Punk to come say stuff to his face, and he went to go leave the ring. Becky Lynch stepped in his way. And then Seth left. But she slapped CM Punk a bunch of times. And CM Punk was like, you're going to regret that. And CM Punk asked Adam Pearce, where is SmackDown? And Adam Pearce is like, why? Chicago, why? Why? I thought that segment was hilarious. So we'll put a pin in all of that. Main event. Saw the Vision pick up the victory over Jey Uso and LA Knight. I don't know if I would have put this as the main event. With how over AJ Styles and Dominic were. Even though AJ Styles...
You put that?
Even though AJ didn't win. But the Vision...
So then where would you put that?
I don't know. The Vision came out for this match, and Seth Rollins was just in the previous segment. There was zero crossover. I don't even think they mentioned...
Like limited.
I don't think they even mentioned that. And this match, the match was fine. There was nothing crazy over the top. I mean, granted, the ending...
Where else would you put this match?
Maybe the opening, right when they were there. I don't know. But this match isn't what mattered. It was the ending. That's what mattered. You did everything in the match. You had Jey Uso spear Bronson Reed. You had him hit the Uso splash.
Time out. So with you can't really put this anywhere else because you have CM Punk and Jey Uso as the opener. You can't really put it in in the middle.
You could have put, I don't know.
You're going to put that match right in the middle?
CM Punk wasn't the intro. AJ? No. Jey Uso is the intro, really. CM Punk's just backstage waiting for Seth Rollins. That match could have been right then and there. But because of the ending, because of what happened after the ending, Jimmy Uso makes the save. You have the Usos
only place
reunite.
To put it would be the opener.
Yeah, so you could have 100% done that in the opener. But again, because of Jimmy Uso finally showing up, making that save for Jey, you have the Usos reunited. That's why it was probably the end of the show.
But for how long? Because why did he wait so long to run his butt down to that ring? It's like he's backstage. He couldn't, like when he was initially getting beaten up, he couldn't run down sooner. He had to wait until he was like just totally done in the ring.
They completely took LA Knight out. They continued that beatdown on Jay. And then he finally ran out with that chair and the Vision left. I don't know, man.
Exactly. That's
why this literally maybe they were expecting a bigger pop or something, I don't know, but I don't know. That AJ Styles, it could have been a perfect finish with him winning and and then the crowd going absolutely bananas to close Monday Night Raw.
Doesn't make sense to me. Lousy booking in my opinion for that one, unless it's going to lead to Jimmy turning on Jay.
Why would that makes no sense. That's the dumbest thing to
it doesn't
to
make sense for him to wait.
You don't know where Jimmy was.
It doesn't make sense.
You don't know where Jimmy was. You can't say that.
His brother to get beaten up.
You don't know where he was. You have absolutely no idea where Jimmy was. He wasn't just waiting in the wings.
Maybe he was in the bathroom.
Yeah, so we don't know. We don't know why it took that long. But that is Monday Night Raw in Paris. I would hope for a million more of those because the crowd is great. The timing is great. And then we go to NXT, kicking off Lash Legend picking up the victory over Jada Parker, which they had some decent back and forth, and it was a pretty even match between the two of them. Both of them showing their strengths. It seemed like Jada Parker had this match won. Lash Legend got to the outside. She hit the Lash extension into the commentary table. She then brings Jada Parker back into the ring and hits a second one inside the ring to get that victory. And then Jada Parker attacked Lash Legend afterwards, hit her with the Hypnotic through the barricade. I feel like I would like for that spot to go away. I feel like we see it way too often. But we'll see what happens between the two of them.
Yeah. I am happy that Jada Parker did get that at the end, though, because I feel like she's so built up that I didn't want to see her just eat the loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, Javon Evans came out.
Javon.
First time we're seeing him in a while. But he was very emotional talking about how he didn't win at Heatwave. He was then interrupted by a video of a motorcycle. And I was like, oh my God. Get out of here. He's about to get a big pep talk and everything. Undertaker's gong ends up hitting. And it turns out to be Josh Briggs, who I think that might have been like, I don't think that reaction from the crowd was edited because you could see them like reacting. That was like one of the loudest reactions I've ever heard, I think, there.
Yeah.
But
they popped huge for that. I thought that was a great swerve.
But Josh Briggs said that Javon should have walked right up to Obafemi, demanded a rematch, but instead he allowed for Ricky Saints to just walk right over him, get that championship match. And then Josh Briggs said that Javon is good, but he'll never be good enough. And then he attacked him. He grabbed a chair. He chokeslammed him onto that chair, broke that chair. So I thought that was a very well done segment there with Josh Briggs. And then later on, Cal Dixon and Uriah Connor spoke to Josh Briggs about everything that he did to Javon Evans. And they're like, you're supposed to be some sort of locker room leader, but look what you're doing. And then Andre Chase showed up. They hyped up Andre Chase against Josh Briggs. And Andre Chase, they were like, we're going to go talk to Ava. Chase looked like he wanted absolutely nothing to do with that. But even later on, it gets set up where we see Josh Briggs pick up the victory over Andre Chase. And Andre Chase had some momentum here, but we knew he wasn't winning.
No.
Even though the fans were going absolutely wild for Andre Chase there, but we knew. And then Josh Briggs took out Chase U after that match, so we'll see what happens there. I'm sure there's going to be something.
Has to be.
After that, Candice LeRae picked up the victory over Xia Brookside to advance in the Speed Tournament. Like I said last week, man, I was very pumped for this match. regardless of it being three minutes, I wish I could see like a million minutes of a match like this. I liked the addition of the color changes for the time intervals. I thought that was a nice addition.
Did it live up to your expectation?
Honestly, I feel like, I mean, it's not the best speed match that we've seen. There's been so many like other speed matches, but I was very happy seeing Candice LeRae on NXT TV. I was very happy to see Xia Brookside on NXT TV with, by the way, her theme song. She uses Simple Plan, State Champs, and We the Kings. So that was unexpected, and that was really cool also.
Yeah.
But like I said, I really wish, and I didn't expect Xia to get the victory there, but I really wish that she could have gone on to continue in the tournament. I really wish that we got longer matches here, but they did what they could in the, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I think was the total match. Hopefully it's not the last time we see Xia.
Nope. Next up, you had Trick Williams addressing the crowd.
Yeah, and he spoke about being the greatest NXT superstar, and he mentioned how none of the stars from the past even disputed it. And he said that he doesn't blame them because as soon as he moves to Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, he'll be just like them and never come back. In my head here, I'm like, well, I'm trying to like think of realistically who it could be to interrupt him as far as like the NXT brand. Stupidly, maybe I had my fingers crossed for Shinsuke Nakamura. I should have in my head deep down, Candice LeRae's on NXT. I should have just assumed it was going to be Johnny Wrestling, which it was. It was DIY to interrupt Trick Williams here. And they mentioned how that date was their 10-year anniversary of their NXT debut. So I thought that was really cool that they got to go and 10 years later be on NXT. But they went over their title history to compare it to Trick Williams' title history. It led to Ciampa pushing Trick. He went to go after him, and then DIY ends up hitting Meet in the Middle. I have to assume we're going to be seeing Trick Williams versus one of them next week.
Yeah.
Or at Homecoming.
It has to
Homecoming is in, I think, maybe 2 weeks or so.
I don't even remember.
So
it's very possible. But next up, you had Jordan Grace pick up the victory over Callie Armstrong. Big, nice showcasing match for Grace to show off her power in this.
Yeah. So this match, it stemmed from what happened in the locker room. And Callie brought up how for a second time now, Jordan Grace has interrupted her. And I fully 1,000% expected Callie Armstrong to actually win this match because of what happened last week. I thought for sure we were going to see Blake Monroe cost Jordan Grace the match. So I was very surprised that didn't happen. This match was very even. Callie Armstrong looks fantastic in the ring. She's the Evolve champion, and I think she has probably one of the biggest futures in WWE right now. Because she comes from that same exact, I think it's like track and field, same exact path right now that Bianca Belair could have. Or had, I mean. She can be very big in WWE.
Yeah, it just needs that little rocket boost.
They both showed off their strength. That suplex reversal spot I thought was one of the best spots from wrestling this week. Because it showed off how strong both of them were.
Mm-hmm.
But Blake Monroe came out afterwards. They brawled a bit. It was broken up. And then the main event saw Obafemi, Hank and Tank, and Ricky Saints pick up the victory over Dark State. Very annoying that this match, I mentioned it last week, Dark State's first match after winning the title shouldn't be a random 8-man tag match. I don't think that's how you establish a champion. So I would have preferred for this not to be a random match. That being said, this match was exciting. Very chaotic.
Yeah.
I did like all the faces doing the Hank and Tank, the honk honk splash thing that they did to Cutler James. But
definitely marked out for the Joe Hendry spot.
Yeah, Obafemi and Ricky Saints end up brawling back to the back with each other. And Hank and Tank did all they could to try and fight Dark State off. And at one point, they had like a secret weapon to fight off Dark State. And I forget who was choking who. Cutler, I think, was choking Hank. And he was taunting him about it, saying, "There's nobody here to save you." And Hank goes, "Joe Hendry." And then all of a sudden, Hendry shows up. That leads to the end of the match. I think that's a fine spot. I fully expected Dark State to win. I don't think...
this was a nice spot.
I don't think the champion should be losing either. But that's what they did. And then they cut backstage to Obafemi and Ricky Saints brawling.
Yeah.
So that's NXT. Moving over to SmackDown. It opened up with John Cena. This was his final SmackDown. They packed the Allstate Arena in Chicago for this. And he said that he had nothing planned for this segment. He just wanted to go out there, have fun. His first time on SmackDown with Kurt Angle was in Chicago. And he went to leave. Sami Zayn showed up to a sea of boos. And he just wanted to thank John Cena on behalf of everybody in the back, on behalf of himself. He asked John Cena if he can do a Sami Zayn Open Challenge now for the U.S. Championship. And Cena agreed. Sami Zayn offered John Cena the first match. Right then and there, you had to know how this match was going to end. You had to. John Cena versus Sami Zayn ends in a no contest. It was an unexpected match. This was not their 2015 match, but I so appreciated this match. It was awesome in other ways. I liked John Cena using the ankle lock. He hit the angle slam. Interesting to see him hit that GTS. He hit a spear, which I thought was cool. Michael Cole called it for the big dog, Roman Reigns, but I mean, he did the edge taunt and everything. We all know who it was for. Corey Graves corrected it. He did a clothesline from hell. The fans at one point, they were chanting for an RKO, so he sets up for an RKO. Sami Zayn reversed that. He reversed an attitude adjustment from the middle rope at first. John Cena then hit the attitude adjustment from the middle rope. They were both lying there knocked out, and Brock Lesnar showed up. Attacked the referee, attacked John Cena. Very predictable. Sets up WrestlePalooza. Nick Aldis backstage was very angry. Carmelo Hayes tried to ask him about the U.S. Challenge, the championship, I mean. Miz cut in, brought up the tag team championships, which they then, I think, maybe get a title shot. And Carmelo was like, I don't want that. And it's an open challenge, so I don't know why Carmelo Hayes needs to talk to Nick Aldis about it. After that, we had Aleister Black pick up the victory over Damian Priest. Aleister Black attacked Damian Priest before the match during his entrance, and officials tried to stop the match from happening. They tried to stop Damian Priest from going down to the ring. He went down, and I'm glad. I didn't think this match was going to happen. So I'm glad that it actually did happen, and for what it was, I thought this was a pretty good match. Damian Priest did stuff on the outside to Aleister Black, but Black gets back in the ring, tries to call a timeout, and he ends up grabbing the referee, which he eventually used that to his advantage to hit the Black Mass on Damian Priest and get that victory. After that, we saw Julia pick up the victory over Mia Yim to retain the U.S. Championship. I want to see more of both of them weekly. I thought this match was good, again, for what it was. That Kiana James spot was a bit awkward. The setup was awkward for me. But Julia ends up hitting a Arrivederci after that and picks up the victory. And then Kiana James attacked Mia Yim afterwards. So we can only assume that sets up a match next week. To close SmackDown, everybody, I think myself included, I can't speak for everybody, but I think everybody was expecting CM Punk right off the bat, but Seth Rollins showed up in the crowd and said that we witnessed history tonight. We witnessed the legend of CM Punk die. He brought out Becky Lynch, and she went to the ring. She did her shtick as the fans chanted for AJ Lee and booed Becky Lynch. She absolutely trashed Chicago. Went through everything regarding Chicago, all the sport teams and everything. They all suck. CM Punk sucks. Then CM Punk showed up. And he went to the ring. Really, really milked his entrance there. And Becky Lynch reiterated what she said on Monday Night Raw. Asked CM Punk if he's embarrassed for what she did to him on Monday Night Raw. And the fans are just drowning Becky Lynch out with AJ Lee chants. She told him to shut up. And CM Punk said, no, you're going to let them chant AJ Lee if they want. And he questioned Becky Lynch. He's like, don't you think I could have one of my family members hop the barricade and beat you up? Don't you think I could call Bayley? Don't you think I could call Rhea Ripley? And then she slapped CM Punk again. She did the same slap gimmick that she did on Monday Night Raw. And he said that he would never put his hands on a woman, but he knows somebody who will. And AJ Lee, after 10 years, returned. And that pop was freaking nuts. Becky Lynch went to attack AJ Lee. She took her down. It's absolutely wild that it's been a decade since she's been in a WWE ring. So that was a 10 out of 10 return. I'm looking forward to WrestlePalooza. That was SmackDown. I'm sure that's going to be a mark out moment for next week. I'll say this now. But that's SmackDown. Going to take a quick little break right now, and I'll be right back here on Markin Out.
Hi, this is Dennis Haskins, Mr. Belding from Saved by the Bell, and you're listening to Markin Out.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Markin Out, episode 761. Moving back to AEW Collision from last week, it kicked off with Daniel Garcia picking up the victory over Blake Christian. Daniel Garcia was interviewed afterwards. I think hilariously challenged Jon Moxley and basically refused to answer what Jon Moxley said to him. And Wheeler Yuta, Marina Shafir showed up, and Wheeler Yuta told him to be careful what he asked for, and they accept the challenge. That happens, I think, on this week's Collision, so I'll talk about that next week. You had Kyle Fletcher, Josh Alexander pick up the victory over Ishii and Kyle O'Reilly. Before the match, Roderick Strong questioned why Kyle O'Reilly is teaming up with Ishii. I would really like to see more Kyle O'Reilly and Josh Alexander, like singles competition between them, because I enjoyed what they were doing in this match. Kyle Fletcher got busted open during this, and I kept watching the spot. I rewound it a bunch of times. I have no idea how. But unfortunately, Josh Alexander cheated to get the victory there. After that, Hologram picked up the victory over Jay Lethal. This match was surprisingly sloppy at times. Hologram now has a clone coming to AEW, which was something that was trademarked a year ago. I don't need to see this in 2025, but I do think it's really funny to go back to when that was originally reported. People thought the clone was going to be Vikingo, and there was so much talk, and they were like, it's of course it's going to be Vikingo. And clearly it's not Vikingo. And I think Arez was always a name that was thrown out there as well for this spot, and I believe it's going to be him. You had Alex Windsor pick up the victory over Ashley Vox. It's been a while since we've seen Ashley Vox on television. She's done some Ring of Honor matches, but nothing like actually solid with AEW. So she's not signed or anything, but this match went how you'd expect it to go for someone who's not signed. Alex Windsor was interviewed afterwards about Mercedes Moné, and she brought up making Mercedes Moné tap out, and she said she'll do it again. This took a bit too long, but I'll put a pin in that. You had FTR pick up the victory over JD Drake and Adam Priest. It's been almost a year since we've seen JD Drake, and I had no clue that Adam Priest was in the Workhorsemen. But I think this kind of made FTR look weak. Unless they're going to build something up. They did have a segment this week where it almost seems like Adam Priest is about to get squashed, but I don't see the point in having a match like this with FTR. Like, how does this set up them versus Edge and Christian? But FTR addressed Edge afterwards. Cash said this isn't about them. It's about their legacy. And right now, it could go either way with them at All Out. I would be more surprised if Edge and Christian lost, though. I'm like very torn on that, but I would be surprised to see Edge and Christian lose. Unless it goes to another pay-per-view as well. World's End or something. I don't know. You had Big Bill pick up the victory over Juice Robinson. Given that Juice and Austin beat the Learning Tree, and Juice Robinson beat Brian Keith, I figured that Big Bill would be winning this. I think both teams need big wins. And against actual people signed to AEW. So this match really, to me, doesn't do anything for either of them. You had Toni Storm, Mina Shirakawa, Queen Aminata pick up the victory over the Triangle of Madness and Billy Starks. Earlier, Jamie Hayter attacked Tekla. As far as this match goes, though, I can't even begin to stress how bad the referees are in AEW. It's just like it takes away so much from the match. Unrelated to the referee, Julia Hart got busted open during this. I wish that she and Sky Blue were way more dominant. I would like to see Triangle of Madness be a dominant team, but they don't really allow for that. You had the aftermath. Tekla attacked Mina Shirakawa. They all brawled. The aftermath was sloppy. Triangle of Madness looked lost at times. And I don't know where Jamie Hayter was. On AEW Dynamite, it kicked off. Gabe Kidd opened the show, called out Darby Allin, questioning where he was. Darby showed up. They brawled. Wheeler Yuta showed up. Darby Allin took him out. The rest of the Death Riders showed up and surrounded the ring. And then the lights went out. Hook came out. Hook slowly came out. And then the Ops showed up. The Ops did... I don't even know if Hook got involved there, but the Ops did the heavy lifting. Darby put Gabe Kidd in a body bag, dragged him off attached to a truck. Mercedes Moné in the first match picked up the victory over Alex Windsor to retain. This was literally the only match I cared about on Dynamite. They had good back and forth. It actually went a much longer time than I would have expected this match to go. I liked the sharpshooter spot when they were both knocked out. Alex Windsor she's slowly coming to, puts it on Mercedes. They rolled out. She continued to hold for multiple submissions. Mercedes, this goes back to Collision. Mercedes tapped out, but she was outside the ring. All the submission stuff in this match I thought was really well done. And Mercedes ended up countering a submission to pin her. Afterwards, Mercedes faked a handshake. Alex Windsor didn't take to that and went to attack her, but Mercedes locked her in the bank statement. And then Rio, of all people, gone for over a year, returned. I forgot she was injured. I don't remember what was injured. I think it might have been her arm. I think she jumped off the top rope and injured her arm. So, and then it was made for All Out, Mercedes versus Rio. Were they going for that before she was injured? They must have, for them to jump instantly back into that. I feel like what she did on Dynamite doesn't equate to a championship match at All Out. But that's the match. Afterwards, Mark Briscoe came out. He said he's ready for a Don Callis challenge. And Don Callis announced that Takeshita will be facing him on Collision. Mark Briscoe said he wants a fight. He's ready to fight right then and there. Rocky Romero tried to step up, and then Lance Archer ultimately stepped up. Mark Briscoe obviously picks up the victory over Lance Archer because Lance Archer's last win in AEW was almost 3 months ago. His last singles match in AEW was almost, his last singles win in AEW was almost 11 months ago. And his last singles match against somebody signed to AEW and not enhancement talent was July 2023. It's 2025 now. Tell me Lance Archer's going to randomly beat Mark Briscoe? No. Toni Storm had an interview segment, or whatever you would call it, a promo, I guess, technically. And she basically said nobody can beat her. She wants everyone to step up. I really can't picture who's taking that title from Toni Storm. If they turn this into some sort of like John Cena US Challenge Open challenge, I think that would be really cool. I don't necessarily see that happening, but it would be cool to see some big, like, actual known people who aren't in AEW step up. After that, Brodito picked up the victory over the Death Riders to retain the tag team championships. Before this, Harley Cameron and Chris Statlander were interviewed, and Wheeler Yuta interrupted that to tell Chris Statlander that they have her back. He didn't say it was a message from Jon Moxley, but you have to assume it was Jon Moxley because of the stuff that happened prior with Jon Moxley and Chris Statlander. But I think that's an interesting dynamic between the two of them, Moxley and Chris Statlander, and I would have cared way more about that than I would have cared to see Wheeler Yuta team up to take on Brodito in this match. I don't care about Brodito. The first thing that they did was instantly put them in a random 8-man tag match. And then they put them in it was to build to a Ring of Honor match. Jon Moxley got involved. Darby Allin showed up, attacked Jon Moxley. Brodito gets the victory. After that, you had Edge and Christian. They were supposed to do something together. I assume address FTR. Edge showed up. FTR attacked Edge. Christian made the save. They opened the show like this. It got separated. This segment got separated by security and random, they said Ring of Honor guys. Priest was one of them. But when you open the show in the same basic way, to me it loses value. Especially when you had Darby Allin and Jon Moxley in the previous match do the same exact thing again. But they were part of the opening segment. So for me, that's like an extension of that. The Edge and Christian thing, that's a brand new thing. Why would you do that? And then the main event, you have Young Bucks teamed up with the Don Callis family to defeat Kenny Omega, the world champion Adam Page, and Jet Speed. All-star team. The champion loses. This was beyond boring. The fans were super into it. That's what matters. I found it to be boring, though. Having Hangman be on a random losing team, why should we care about him as champion? That sets him up to fail. It's like Brodito. They all brawled afterwards. They did this 3 times on Dynamite with 3 different groups of people. It makes no sense to me. So that's AEW Dynamite. Hey, Brandon, got any shout-outs?
For you guys, I'm listening to Brandon shout-outs. Oh, well, gee, Eric, I don't think that's a great thing to do. Hey, respect my authority.
I finally watched The Thunderbolts, which is out on Disney Plus now. You saw this in theaters, yes or no?
No, that's what I actually have to watch. I have to watch
Bro,
yeah.
What? You saw a movie before the other movie.
Yeah.
You're out of order.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I don't know, man. Whatever. But it came out in May, and I never made it to the movies to see it, so I watched it on Disney Plus, and I thought this was really good. For this to be a movie with maybe like a B-team sort of set of superheroes, I thought this was very strong. And I feel like if you like the MCU, you either already saw this or you watched it and probably already saw it on Disney Plus. I'm like Dave over here. But
yeah.
Now I have to wait probably like 2 months to see Fantastic Four, so I'll wait for that. I can't believe you didn't see that.
No, and I actually really want to. So maybe later on tonight or this weekend I'll toss it on Disney Plus.
And I was spoiled. Every time they had a new billboard, it was like a new spoiler would get posted to the internet. So,
yeah.
I mean, you already know the spoiler, right? Surely?
I mean, I know the big billboard spoiler.
Yeah, so that's...
But
I mean, there's an
that's it.
asterisk in the title anyway, so...
Yeah, that I don't know. For all of that didn't really do much for me. Like, it's not like that reveal wasn't like, oh my goodness. To
No,
me.
but it makes more
It was like,
sense.
oh.
It makes more sense when you watch the full movie.
I guess.
So, but my next shout out goes to Upload, which is back for its 4th and final season on Amazon Prime. The last season came out in 2023, so it's been quite a while. And I didn't even realize this was being released until I stumbled upon it on Amazon Prime. I think it was like maybe top 3 in the trending gimmicks on Prime. But it sucks that this is the final season, and there were only 4 episodes. I think Greg Daniels really knocks it out of the park with his shows, and I wish there had more. There were more episodes here. Robbie Amell was great in the show. Andy Allo was great in the show. You could watch the full series on Amazon Prime if you have that. I think this was a really good series. It sucks that it ends. It ends on a cliffhanger. That's how every season ended, but that's it. There's no more. So even though it ends on a cliffhanger, it's like a happy, like a cliffhanger of hope, I guess. So if you've never seen Upload, I truly do hope you go out and watch it on Amazon Prime. My last shout out goes to Man's Best Friend, which is Sabrina Carpenter's latest album, which I think is very, very catchy. So catchy that, it's 100% all over social media at this point. But I honestly, I think this could be a whole Broadway musical from this album. It's very 70s sound, but it's also modern at the same time. Like Upload, I didn't realize this album was out. I saw somebody tweet about it, and I'm glad I saw that tweet. I was like, wait a minute, her album came out? And I like Short and Sweet a little bit more than this album, but I think she found her sound with Short and Sweet. And very much so, I think she found her voice with Emails I Can't Send, which was released in 2022. So this album, that was the album to really like start the trajectory of where she is now as an artist. I think with this Man's Best Friend, I think you could say that she mastered her voice and sound. So I think it's a well done album. There are a bunch of criticisms about it, but I don't know. I think this was a really good album. So check it out. Man's Best Friend, streaming everywhere. We don't get paid for that, but I think she's great. So those are my shout outs. Now it's time for, also we had 2 videos I put out on our TikTok and our YouTube Shorts. The YouTube short with using the Sabrina Carpenter song has over 25,000 views, which is insane. So you could check those out on our TikTok and YouTube short. But those are my shout outs. Now it's time for our
Mark Out Moment of the Week.
That is right, our Mark Out Moment of the Week. What do you got?
Ooh, what do I got? Who didn't mark out for Drake saying that Rhea Ripley was his muse?
Did Rhea Ripley actually say she's more of a Kendrick Lamar guy fan?
Oh, I have no clue.
I saw that quote. I don't know if that's a real quote or not, but I popped at that.
Yeah, I got no clue with that.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I got nothing. What about you?
Well, D23, Destination D23 took place this past weekend in Orlando. And there were like a lot of like mini announcements here. But I think for me, parks-wise, the biggest announcement for me from there was the announcement that a Walt Disney animatronic will be added to Carousel of Progress. So the intro of what is just a curtain is now going to be Walt Disney. So I think that's really cool because when they announced that California was getting that animatronic of Walt Disney in the Lincoln show, I was really hoping that we would get it in Orlando as well because I'll probably never make it to Disneyland. So it seems like they're going to update. I assume they're going to update some of the scenes. I don't know how updated the scenes are going to be. I don't know if it's going to be like crazy changes, but it seems like they're going to stick to the same basic format of the show, just with the addition of Walt Disney, plus maybe update the final scene. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to that. We also had Halloween Horror Nights kickoff this past week, and I think it's really cool seeing all the videos from the horrors of the Wyatt Six house. And I think it's really incredible seeing the non-wrestling fans. A lot of them I saw say that they went out and researched what this house was about to learn about what Bray Wyatt was to pro wrestling, to what Bray Wyatt was to Wyatt Six, and why everything is what it is in that house. So I think it's awesome to see them also leaving the house saying, like, this was one of my favorites. And I can't even begin to express how, like, do I say grateful? Is that an expression? A feeling I should have?
Why not?
Proud as a wrestling fan when something like that happens. So, and I think it's really cool. Luke Harper's represented in the house. Braun Strowman isn't, which I think is weird.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool aspect, and I was watching like walkthroughs and everything, and it just looks like something that Bray would have loved and, appreciated.
Yeah, I wish I could see, I don't like being scared though, but I really wish I could see it in person. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I have to mention this. They mentioned Taylor Swift quite a lot on Clash in Paris. WWE broke the single day event gate despite having less of an attendance than the Eras Tour in the same arena. On my birthday, the same night Billy Joel played Madison Square Garden, and I didn't get to go to either. But I think it was very weird hearing them say Taylor Swift maybe like 4 or 5 times that night. But I think it's cool that they broke the single day event. She had 4 dates there, so they didn't break that overall. But it may be one step closer to having Taylor Swift at WrestleMania. Who knows?
So, I mean, maybe Super Bowl and WrestleMania.
It would be nice, but I feel like I would be annoyed if I'm not there, and that's gonna be in Las Vegas next year. So, and I'm certainly not going to the Super Bowl. That's for sure. So those are maybe Sabrina Carpenter does the Super Bowl. Who knows? But those are our Mark Out moments of the week. Thank you so much for checking out Markin Out episode 761. You can check us out on Twitter at Markin Out, at BTDG161 on all platforms. Chris Sween Dog, CM Sween 85, David PTDBT, Facebook.com/Markin Out, YouTube and Instagram Markin Out 11. Rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, iHeartRadio, MarkinOut.com, YouTube, ProWrestlingTees.com/MarkinOut, at Markin Out on TikTok. We wish you the best of luck
In your
future endeavors.